Hi, welcome to another episode of Biz Jet TV. My name is Fab Poli, I'm your host, and before we get into today's episode about business aviation news, I'd like to encourage you to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to Biz Jet TV. Click on the notification bell below, and let's get into today's episode with 4 items of news for you. The first item of news coming from Singapore. On the 21st of September in Singapore, they're launching the first Skyport Vertiport, or Voloport as it's sometimes called, for the electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. We have covered a lot about this, about the urban air mobility over the last few weeks. This is being launched in Singapore very soon, 21st of September. And they're going to be test flying a number of vehicles out of there for the next few months with a view of starting commercial operations in 2022. If you haven't seen other coverage of this subject, you can look around the channel and you'll see we've covered the whole urban air mobility, the electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, the different ones that are coming out on the market, the ones that are being test flown. Very, very interesting. It's certainly going to change the dynamics of private aviation and make things happen a lot quicker as well. Second item of business is about a crash, but it's not a new crash. Good job, because over the last few weeks we've had nearly a crash a week. In fact, 5 crashes over the last few weeks, which is just making the safety record in private aviation get worse, which was 5 times worse than the airlines. Now it's probably tending towards 6-7 times worse. The National Transport Safety Board, or NTSB as it's often called, has issued a preliminary report on the crash happened in Oroville, California of the Citation XL, which crashed just after takeoff. What happened is the airplane got to the rotation speed, the pilot pulled back on the yoke and the airplane would not get airborne. He pulled a second time and the airplane still wouldn't get into the air, so they rejected the takeoff and the airplane ended up going off the end of the runway. The good thing is the 8 passengers and 2 pilots walked off the airplane without any scratches or bruises. Now, why did this happen? Well, there's 3 reasons or 3 possibilities here. It could either be the control lock was still in place, which means during pre-flight they didn't pick that one up, or there could be a maintenance issue which wasn't allowing the airplane to get airborne, or the most likely one, looking at the fact that there were 8 passengers, 2 pilots, probably some bags, and also loaded with fuel, they were probably overweight, and that would explain why the airplane would not lift up in the air when it got to the rotation speed, or they may have computed the speeds wrong. So it's be interesting to see the full report on that. If you haven't seen the episode I did about when I almost crashed a private jet in a similar situation there, you can click on the link above and you can hear that story, which is an interesting one. Next piece of item of business here is about Prince Harry from the British royal family, and his wife Meghan and their baby were caught on camera and getting off a private jet in Nice. Disgusting, according to the media and all the environmentalists, because, you know, Prince Harry likes to talk about the environment, and there he is travelling by private jet. Private jet's carbon footprint's a lot higher than that of the airlines. What a lot of people didn't know is that the flight was paid by singer Elton John. He paid for that flight. He said he wanted them to travel in safety, so it was not paid by the British taxpayer. And also Elton John also donated some money to charity to offset the carbon footprint. Elton John also owns his own aeroplane, flies private as well. But, you know, a lot of these celebrities do fly private because for safety reasons. And also, you know, they need to get to places quick and rested to have their performance, put on their performance. So, you know, private jet at the end of the day is a business tool, as I always say. This is the reason why we have Biz Jet TV. So, you know, those of you that environmentalists out there that's saying, like one of you commented on Biz Jet TV a few weeks ago about, you know, private jets should be banned because of the carbon footprint. Well, you know, private jet is a business tool. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And that's why we created this channel, to educate the market and make people realize that, you know, this is an amazing business tool. And if you want to know more about this, I suggest you have a look at the episode I did about Elon Musk talking about this subject. Click on the link above and you can go to that one and have a watch. Now, next one, last but not least, another good thing for private jets here is we had this hurricane go through the East Coast United States a few days ago, and the Bahamas. A lot of damage was done. People died, unfortunately, but a number of private jet owners have jumped in and loaded their planes up with medical supplies and food and other things needed, and flown these planes out to the islands to give support and relief to the people that have had their houses damaged and whatnot. So a lot of private jet owners here jumping into this to help, donating, you know, their airplane's time, and they're paying for everything. And again, if we didn't have private aviation, we wouldn't be able to do this. Private aviation does support a lot of these, you know, hurricane relief things and earthquakes and whatnot, you always get a lot of private jets land after these disasters with a lot of help. So that's another good reason for having a private jet and using a private jet. So I don't care what the environmentalists say, private jets are a good thing for the world. The number of business deals that get done around the world because of private jets that wouldn't get done if we didn't have private jets. And I believe a lot of those deals leading to inventions and improvements for society. That's really what's happening behind the scenes. So I don't care what the media say. That's why we created Biz Jet TV, to let the world know that private aviation is a very positive thing for the world. Well, that's all from Fab Poli here, Biz Jet TV. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, I encourage you to subscribe. Like this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you're environmentalist, I guess you give me a thumbs down, but you know, that's your problem, not mine. And that's all from Fab Poli, Biz Jet TV, and I'll see you on the next one.